here. Credible reports have come out about these companies using workers in the global south paid absolute slave wages to do.
Welcome, my fellow DCites, to the finale of Peacemaker Season 2. There's somewhat news out there saying that they might not get a Season 3. And the only reason I can see that is because the same reason we're not going to get another upcoming Assassin's Creed, because of pussies, these pussy MAGA bitches who went out of the way that, we got Charlie thing. We got that Charlie thing. We can do our own Super Bowl halftime show. Yeah, I'm serious. There's a fucking separate Super Bowl that's gonna be on in America in 2024. We gotta. These dumbasses got themselves their own version of Super Bowl because of Bad Bunny. Yeah, because the far right, aka MAGA bitches, got triggered by Bad Bunny. They got triggered by Bad Bunny, dude. So yeah.
If you built, maintained, or defended the use of the machine that made it, that would be a different story.
Here it is.
I'm not necessarily talking at all about neural networks.
Fucking
artists use to help generate digital objects or effects. There are real tools that creatives and
USA presents the All-American Halftime Show, aka a pussified version of what we're gonna get at the Super Bowl with Bad Bunny, but a watered down piece of shit right-wing MAGA bullshit halftime show. Yeah, with all the Christianity and shit. Yeah, because these pussies suck. No, I'm serious. These Nazi motherfuckers suck that bad that they're showing their racism. No, I'm serious. You pussies show their racism because I'm like, what's wrong with Bad Bunny? And the only explanation I got from all of you, including Matt Walls, Ben Shapiro, Michael Knowles, and his twin, his female doppelganger, Brett Cooper, is he's not that, they don't know who he is. I'm like, how can you not know? The motherfuckers had a run in WWE. He was literally used as a marketing campaign for all their pay-per-views and shit. Bad Bunny. He was at WrestleMania. Bad Bunny. He was in Happy Gilmore 2 on Netflix. Bad Bunny. It's like everybody knows who Bad Bunny is. So it's like the only explanation I got is because you're racist. No, I'm serious. All y'all's fucking pussy ass motherfuckers are racist. And fuck Charlie. Because I'm sorry for your loss, but fuck Charlie, dude. We're wasting taxpayer dollars on bullshit like giving ICE agents helicopter rides to take out people, immigrants out that doesn't need to be a thing. And then also we're giving a airport to Levy, who gave Donald Trump that jumbo jet we also have to pay for. It's just like America's wasting money. It's wasting fucking money. And I'm like, I'm fed up, and I'm saying, go fuck yourself. Literally. True point. Go fuck yourself. Your show's gonna suck. No, I'm serious. Your show's gonna suck. Your halftime show's gonna suck. You know the fucking real funniest thing is, once again, the white man stealing something that a minority did better, aka a living color did this back in the day when y'all didn't want us at y'all show. That's the only time I can say it's okay to do your own personal halftime show when it was not allowed for a person not to be there. That's it's not like you can't not have a halftime show. It's just you too much of a pussy ass cracker to deal with the fact that Bad Bunny is gonna blow the roof off at Super Bowl. So you made up some bullshit reasons that you want everybody to boycott the Super Bowl. You Nazi bitch. Talking about Nazism.
CEO Andrew Wilson's remarks. However, Dragon Age creative director Mike Laidlaw responded, quote, "Look,
you got them somewhat also trying to ruin the Wonder Man series on Disney Plus. Yeah, you got your boy John F. Trent of Phantom Post put out this article. Marvel Studio boss
It's a pretty damning acknowledgement. It seems like
upcoming race swap Wonder Man. I get it, in the comics he's white, but in live action he's black. I'm like, that should not matter, but y'all bitches make this a political thing because y'all's a bunch of bitches. Y'all are ruining everything with your little pussy ass agenda and your little pussy ass fucking half-ass piece of shit comics. A story about an actor. Marvel's TV boss Brian Winston shares the new discovery about the upcoming Wonder Man TV series, and feels this is as a story about an actor. First, in Entertainment Weekly, Nick Ritson reveals that the series will see Aldrich Martu II take on the role of Simon Williams as he for the lead role of Wonder Man, a reboot of a old show. It will also see him board with Ben Kingsley, Trevor Smith character who of their love of acting. Oh yeah, because he was in the third Iron Man movie and appeared in All Hail the King post mid-series on Thor Dark of the World DVD, and then he was also in Shang-Chi The Legend of Ten Rings as in prison still, because what he did in Iron Man 3, going into All Hail the King mid post credit post whatever thing that was in Thor the Dark World movie digital post thing they used to do. So yeah, love of acting. The series as one of my favorite things I'll even ever been a part of at the studio. He then shared that it takes place within the MCU, but it's a story about a Hollywood, and it's a story about not just Hollywood. I would say it's a story about acting in the journey of an actor in Hollywood. Oh yeah, kind of like in the comic books when Sam Williams was the actor, but he did some bad things, hated Tony Stark, aimed, studied, used as a test subject to give him some superpowers, and it became Wonder Man. And then also in the comics, he has a connection to Vision and how he was the one who first fell in love with Wanda, and then Vision. Then when something happened to that, they put his memories in Vision, and that's how he became the Vision we know. So I think they're gonna do something different with that one, because we already got Vision, but at the same time they could, if they wanted to, because the Vision we have is the white Vision, who's not the Vision from Endgame / Infinity War Vision. So they could do that if they wanted to, but I don't think they're gonna do that.
create space to
That's just my take on it.
inculcate their audience using rhetoric, deception, and bullying.
I could came
of
of very dark levels. Okay, so when asked if it was Marvel's version of the studios, he replied, Wonder Man is very different than the studio adaptation. It's different totally. It's very serious and it's very focused on acting as a cast. The studio is really more about the big Hollywood suspense in the machine in the course the industry. This is really a very interesting point for a point of one actor's trying to live his dream, which the world and the never need to make money involves. He shared that expect part of Danny Denson's career in
everything we've discussed so far.
hard.
Success,
Head writer Andrew Gustin has crossed something that is really deep and wonderful and moving at time. It's for an MCU fan that knows the history of Trevor Simpson from Iron Man 3 to Shang-Chi to here. There is a very interesting 3-act subplot for his character as well. I don't want to spoil anything, but it's very sensitive. It's very interesting. It's not caring. Follow his revival. The show is carefully planning to have just a single season, but if people show up to watch it, it's possible to have a second season. Knowing you, dumbass, the Chuds, you're gonna push for a one and done because y'all gonna push your fans to boycott it or make up some bullshit reason why it's bad because he's not a white dude. No, I'm serious. Y'all gonna push some narrative that this is gonna be a bad show. When you do a reaction to the trailer, and then also when y'all do a review of each episode of this show, just like you did everything else, like Ironheart and stuff like that. So I'm basically saying y'all gonna ruin this show when it comes out, like you do everything else, because y'all's a bunch of dumbass bitches. That's just my take on it with these dumbasses. They're gonna push some narrative why it's a bad show without even giving it a chance. They're not even giving a chance in day one with the marketing that they're doing for the show by calling it a race swap character. So why should I expect something good from them when they do a review of it when I know they're not, because this is what they do, the Chuds. I know y'all gonna do y'all's take on them. I'm okay with that, but these motherfuckers is then and now when the show comes out, they're gonna make it out as a DI series. That's my problem with these dumbasses. I don't trust any of these motherfuckers, to be honest, with real critique about this show. They never have real critique because they don't know how to do real critique. There's just a bunch of whiny ass, pussy ass bitches.
It is literally an SEC violation.
Could be on the table if people watch. If it's the other Wonder Man story is really stand on its own as a beautiful piece. But in instance that when people get to the end of this story, they're going, what more? Gonna want more. And I hope that's what happens. So yeah, I know the grifters ain't gonna give it a good review because they're a bunch of cocksuckers in this Trump America right now. So yeah, there's the article from John F. Trent from Phantom Post take on it. So here's the trailer from your boy William Harsdale Cosmic News on it. It says Marvel dropped the first Wonder Man trailer. So yeah, here's the trailer for it.
You can spend all day just flipping through all of these guys' channels and just being perpetually mad about stuff. Just ask the people that have broken away from these guys. See some of the shows in movies. Well, they don't like you that bad, but these guys.
I like how it is Trevor watching a clip on his laptop. It's like what we do, but it's in the MCU, so it's kind of funny. It's kind of meta in a way. Yeah, Mr. Comeback. Yeah. You know what I'm doing. It's wonderful to be here. Yeah. Suck a dick. I like how in universe is like that. So I'm like literally, they could do a season 2 of She-Hulk and Turning Law and make this a thing. It make Sam Sam be the in some legal trouble, and Jennifer Walters have to represent his dumb ass. It's like stuff you can do it in the MCU with stuff like this that I'm just speculating with. I like how it's like right there. It's like you got a in universe poster of Wonder Man, but as a white man. So in universe is just a guy who was Wonder Man, who was a white man in a movie playing Wonder Man, but this motherfucker is gonna be Wonder Man in the MCU, aka Earth 616 or 1999. So it's like funny. It's a meta funny reference to the fact that he's Wonder Man, but in the comics and in the MCU, the Wonder Man was a white man. So it's like making fun of that logic and why John F. Trent and them are gonna reference the fact that the SJW's trying to make fun of us because they're racist. I'm like, how is it racist if it's an in joke reference? I'm like, literally, your pussy ass motherfuckers. I'm just saying, it's like referencing the fact that Sam was a white dude, but at the same time, the Wonder Man we know wasn't Sam. It was some other actor playing Wonder Man in an old classic black and white movie back in the day in the MCU, aka Earth 616 or Earth 199999. Yeah, pussy ass Karen. You get it right there is Wonder Man. You see, it's a classic movie that in university watched and a fan of that he gets his name from. It's like funny. It's funny. See, it's so technically it wasn't so technically like I said before. It was a movie named Wonder Man that Sam borrowed the costume to become Wonder Man in the MCU, or for the Avengers, if you want to go that route. It's funny. It's funny because, yeah, you could say what you're gonna say, but it's in universe. It wasn't the real superhero. It's just some actor playing a role, kind of like the Rocketeer in a way. This shit, ugly. It's kind of funny because somewhat that's what happened in the comic, but in a different ways. But it's funny. It's funny. It's funny. Yeah, you get an idea the casting someone, motherfucker. I did casting a motherfucker in that role of Wonder Man. Because in universe it's a movie role that he wants to get cast in. And but in it's in the it's a movie role, but at the same time, that's who he's gonna be once he gets his superpower. Is Wonder Man. It's like funny. It's funny. It's funny because in universe, that's not how it happened. I mean, in the comic, it's somewhat how it happened, but it's much darker than that because it's like other things happen to Sam that made him into Wonder Man, but that's the direction that we're going with. I'm just saying, it's like that's the direction they're going with. So yeah, that's kind of funny. It's kind of funny in a meta way if you think about it. Sam Wilson / Wonder Man. So yeah, it's kind of interesting if you think about it. The second series under the Marvel spotlight after Echo. Oh, it says it was supposed to be a spotlight, but it's a Marvel TV now. I like how it was supposed to be the second after Echo in a Marvel spotlight, but nope, it went for spotlight to Marvel TV series, and it only gonna get one season or two out. It depends on, like they said, if it do well, it gets another season, and it's gonna have 8 episodes of it. Wonder Man. Wonder Man. Kind of funny because yeah, in the universe he's just an acting role that he chose to become Wonder Man, but in comic it's exactly the same. But he was white. But at the same time, does that matter as long as it's good? But y'all gonna make it all about that because y'all's a bunch of bitches. I'm just saying, Chud, y'all's a bunch of bitches. All y'all do is whine and complain about stuff like this all the time because that's y'all's job. I'm just saying, instead of just looking forward to shit, y'all just ruin shit. Just like your dumbass orange faced bastard of a daddy. And it's also kind of funny because in the comics, there's a Wonder Girl. Yeah, there's a Wonder Girl. I'm like, just like in the comics, there's a female Peacemaker. No, I'm serious. In the comics, there's a female Peacemaker. No, I'm serious. Think about it. Go do your research. In the comics, there's a female Peacemaker. It was a one-off character that Amanda Waller used to get back at Chris, but there is a female Peacemaker. So yeah. We finally get a second trailer for Wonder Man from Marvel TV / Marvel Cinematic Universe. So yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed that one. I'm out. God,
I'm thinking for your fucking self.
The guys at the Fandom Initiative helped me recontextualize some of the things I've been seeing from what they sometimes alternatively call the chud or grifter sphere. Previously, in ye old first Trump era and prior, that sphere probably would have been labeled as part of the manosphere. Keeping all the context in mind is important to me. I'm really thankful to DJ and the rest of the guys for that. Dane of Actual Fandom on YouTube also another creator a while back who was making videos which, to borrow his phrase, exposed the grift. I am, of course, talking about the Birdman, who I was sort of familiar with due to seeing some of his CinemaSins responses forever ago, but I hadn't seen his Go Woke, Go Broke video and felt it made a really compelling point in summary.
First of all, the assertion that companies go broke by going woke is not supported by empirical evidence. On the contrary, many companies that adopt progressive, inclusive policies experience sustained or greater financial success and positive public perception. Nike featured Colin Kaepernick in an ad in 2018, and although it was controversial, Nike saw sales grow by 31% the next weekend. And
okay, let's do that again.
Weeks. Apple is very obviously committed to include diversity and the removal of Netflix has diversity initiatives and
Von Kovac. You get it? Because in the MCU of Earth 1999 or Earth 616, Van Kovac is the producer of a movie called Wonder Man, who our main character Sam is looking for a job in universe. So it's kind of interesting. Von Kovac.
Zootopia, an animated film views about prejudice, stereotypes, and inclusion, 150 gross $1 billion, starting from about the welfare of animals,
I like how they somewhat showed Wonder Man comic book costume in this movie. It's somewhat his first comic book costume that you see him in the fucking comics design. That's literally what Sam's first costume in the Marvel comic looked like before he got an upgrade on that shit. So in a way, this is Kevin Feige referenced the fact that there is comic book nutide out there and shit and also making fun of it in all of y'all's chuds. The storytelling. Oh yeah, there's a boy Steve Trevor's. You even got a Steve Trevor's back on his feet after what he did with Shang-Chi and Katie in Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. His little bitch ass got a second opportunity in Hollywood. So I thought he'd be either in jail or running from Shang-Chi's sister, who's now the Mandarin forever. She must have just forgot about him and let him go, because it's why bother going after Trevor? He's not that big of a fish. So he might be got the opportunity to get back into acting again, and that's what he's gonna do to Steve Trevor. I kind of like that plot, but it kind of makes sense to me. Yeah, you think about casting. You're gonna cast me a certain motherfucker.
So much of what we discussed here. These experiences.
So yeah, there's the trailer for Wonder Man.
Means something else.
It's kind of interesting.
Example of how these people seem to mean "get woke, go broke" as a mantra, or how they will sometimes refuse to.
It's kind of funny because here is you got Cosmic News saying something somewhat decent about it, but if you go on Phantom Post, you got this dumbass straight up being a fucking asshole about it. Because that's what John F. Trent does, his dumb, ugly ass does. It says, Marvel TV boss drops upcoming race swap Wonder Man as a story about acting. So yeah, it's like, literally, he's like doing his Orange Man cocksucking agenda take on it because he's a fucking dumbass. John F. Trent. So yeah. So it's like, once again, these motherfuckers trying to ruin something for everybody because he's a fucking bitch. No, because you know the Chuck's gonna use this or somewhat use Cosmic News as the gateway to attack this show and make fun of it because he's not white. Because he's not white. And it's kind of funny because you watch the trailer, they reference the fact that in universe they could have went with they had a actor who played Wonder Man in universe, and now Val here is trying to get people back in the seat, so they're looking for a new actor to play Wonder Man, and our new actor who's gonna play Wonder Man is a black man. So yeah, in universe of the TV show of Wonder Man is a role he's playing because they needed someone better than the actor they had, who was a white man playing Wonder Man, and so land the movie role of his life that's gonna lead to him, I don't know, down the line getting his superpowers. And something tells it to go either way with, I don't know, the whole, you can reference the fact that in universe there is a group called AIM there because you had what's his face who was Yellow Jacket become Mohawk. And I'm wondering, did he escape the quantum realm? I could see him do that with MODOK, and he starts AIM again, and somehow Sam becomes a test subject in his project, and that's how he gets the superpowers. I don't know. It's like there's stuff you can do there that lead up to him getting superpowers. I don't know. I'm just speculating here. More so than this motherfuckers. More so than this motherfucker here.
This man's name is Shohei Kondo, and he has become infamous for latching on to this
Sam
getting into fights with other
Williams,
the
saga of Sam Williams.
People have started pointing out online.
So yeah, it's kind of interesting. It's like literally, it's like, because technically in the comic he did have a helmet, but he took it off and lost it down the line because like he was working with AIM. So yeah, it's kind of interesting. In universe, it's just a movie, so I'm gonna leave it at that. No, it's kind of interesting. You think about it. It's like in universe, it's a movie role, but at the same time, what they're gonna do with it is it's a movie role, but down the line he gets
mentions Thomas.
He in the movie somehow he gets superpowers and he joins the Avengers. I don't know. It's like you go from there. So it's somewhat interesting that he's an actor who's gonna may go down the line becoming a superhero who joins the Avengers. So it's kind of interesting if you think about it. And I'm also like, wondering, is he gonna be in Doomsday or Secret Wars? Probably Secret Wars, not Doomsday. I don't know. So other than that, that's basically my reaction to this. It looks interesting of a TV series, and I am gonna watch it when it comes out. But it's like, you know, these motherfuckers gonna get triggered by it because he's not white. No, I'm serious. Sam is not white, but in universe, the actor who used to play Wonder Man was white. So yeah, so these motherfuckers gonna be like a bitch and get triggered because that's what they do as bitches. These motherfuckers chuds. The chud's gonna get pissed at the fact that he's not a white man. But in universe, the first actor who played him was a white man who played somewhat Wonder Man in a movie that motivated, what inspires Sam here to become Wonder Man. So it's kind of funny. It's kind of funny. It's kind of funny. Kind of funny, motherfuckers. Kind of funny. Other than that, that's it. I'm done with that one.
Type figure or Bushi, meaning warrior. There is no problem here. And frankly, I show you many of these clips of creators and users and writers with whom I agree to make the point that other
that is it's kind of funny if you think about it. It's kind of funny if you really.
Fellow small queer gaming and culture YouTuber Crimes New Roman dropped.
No, it's kind of funny because yeah, you also got Devless talking about it as well. So it's like, and they also got the poster with him as a different actor who played Wonder Man. So it's like in universe, it was a movie, and now they want to redo it, and he wants to play the role of Wonder Man. So it's kind of funny. It's kind of funny.
Together we know.
So yeah, there you go.
And it covers what you might call the anti-woke gaming propaganda pipeline, especially how Asmongold's community was hijacked by politically motivated racists and other such hateful individuals. A personal favorite element of this video is the way Noah discusses the Alyssa Mercante lawsuit he was panicking about a while back. Overall, they're more fair and charitable to a lot of the guys getting sucked into these hate movements than I am. I don't tend to be oriented around that because a lot of this white and/or male and/or Christian grievance culture is fundamentally geared towards stroking the egos of the people who get trapped in that content loop, and so dignifying them can have mixed results, especially when the pattern is to attack you in very strong terms, call in their backup dancers or backseat gamers, if you will, and try to force the 1v3, 1v4, or even 1v5 like they're the world's sweatiest Elden Ring gang squad. It's like love bombing, but the guy doing it to you is someone you've noticed being loud at the bus stop because they're drunk on a weekday. But Noah makes some really stellar points here, and I'd like to share just one clip now.
Who wants to learn a fun new term? Oh boy, so exciting! First off, what you saw when I searched YouTube and Google is an example of it. Unfortunately, it's not nearly as cool as the name suggests, and quite terrible. There are a handful of different ways that these work, but this instance is when people create new terms or build strategically optimized information ecosystems around them before those terms become mainstream and open to more credible sources, if ever. In this instance, what that means is if people like this decide to SEO and search terms around her name, they can fill this data void that doesn't have anything in it with whatever they want. So new people who search for her name will only find one-sided spam, Like this. Funny how the both sides crowd always seems to be pretty quiet with things like this.
This data voiding as strategic search engine optimization and malicious discourse farming is key to understanding the anti-woke movement in all its facets. I described earlier how terms like woke, DEI, and before them also things like affirmative action became right-wing dogmas. We've seen this also with CRT, or critical race theory, if you were under a rock for a couple of years there. It's okay, I get it. Unlike Batman, I live in my cave. But importantly, this is completely astroturfed, and infamously not just by conservative groups like Turning Point USA, but also by figures like Chris Rufo and James Lindsay, who you may remember from CRT panic a number of years ago. A lot of these guys are using definitive but personal and frequently mutually exclusive definitions of woke, DEI, or CRT, but they tend to agree generally about those things and barely argue with each other over their definitions, because they're all functionally interchangeable by virtue of orbiting the manufactured conceptual sovereignty. These guys don't care how recently a video game series was woke, or how recently the black culture use cases of woke were the only dominant use cases, because it's all about them, about when they encounter these topics and their ecosystem. I think a lot of this content is geared towards finding avenues not to avoid confronting, but rather to actively dismiss facts, logic, and argumentation from someone like myself. It's one of the reasons why I get a not infrequent stream of comments from people who think and act in ways I've criticized in this essay, but who say things like, "I knew I could stop paying attention when I heard you say you were a feminist," or "I stopped listening when I heard commie bullshit," or otherwise just rephrase an argument I addressed in the video without addressing the way I addressed it. A lot of this is about ego and the self, yes, and not just in the ways I've described here, but it's also about protecting oneself from what one dare not know, to borrow a phrase from Matthew Stover. I see a suspicious number of people proud of learning to tune out, disregard, or discount views with which they're nevertheless intent on engaging. I've used broad language like these people and this movement in this video because, at the end of the day, I don't think the people trapped in these content cycles are just victims. Some of them are also a part of the problem, and very actively so. They learn readily from those they orbit to disregard, disengage, and disassemble. They disregard those whose views it would be inconvenient to understand. Then they disengage when confronted with those views, and then they disassemble those views without ever reconstructing them, cutting off sentences and rearranging the wording of tweets and putting so many words in people's mouths you'd think they were spelunking in your esophagus. All that's left at the end is safety, and that sounds nice, but what you're keeping yourself safe from is a necessary change. You're stunting your growth, and worse, you're making it everybody else's problem. It feels like this is everything now. Every game that comes out, we go through the same goofy discourse cycle, regardless of the facts of the situation in any direction. People with previously limited to no investment in a topic will suddenly be pretending to be experts. I knew about Yasuke not only through pop culture, but because my history of modern Japan professor at my university brought him up briefly during our coursework. None of this was surprising to me, but it doesn't matter. I've reoriented my discussion of this topic around what's actually happening. Pure rhetoric and deception, and what actually matters, namely the arts, the industry, and people. I've anticipated a lot of the rhetoric you'll see out in the wild during these discourses, and so I expect this essay to stand the test of time. But there's one final argument I'll warn you about. You're not unlikely to see it here in this comment section or on other videos and posts calling this stuff out. I saw it recently in a Michael Hobbs thread discussing some recent discourse reignited in a New York Times article. In absence of evidence, but also the much simpler explanation of incidental cross-species transmission.
One month ago,
it's the last resort of someone defending a lie, equivocation. You say there's no evidence for this, you say they're lying, but also you have beliefs, so you're the same, actually. This is only correct if you think there's necessarily no difference if something is true or untrue. If it's possible, one person...
Big Billy Burger. I like how 1 month ago he took hardware to a Big Billy Burger. It's like, isn't it just like every other DC TV show that always got to reference Big Billy Burger? You had it referenced a lot on the CW Flair